It's up to the 6-yard line, 2nd down and 5. Seminoles. Play clock at 10. Travis hands it off to Trey Benson, who had a big week catching the football last week. And Quint, the Seminoles are down some important players, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson, the top two most impactful and productive wide receivers for Florida State, will not play in this ball game. Coleman represents a monster loss in terms of catches, 9 touchdowns. Last week alone, he was targeted 11 times, and Wilson, of course, with his height at 6'7", a favorite target of Jordan Travis.
Those two guys leave a cavernous hole in the offense. Travis complete for the first down, a 13-yard pickup to Ja'Kai Douglas, who hung onto the ball despite taking a hit from Javon McIntyre.
You just see the quickness right there of Jordan Travis. Now he can speed up his release off of that play-action fake. Pitt defensive backs, you're going to have to trigger fast against this passing game, this quick passing game. Otherwise, you're going to get a steady dose of that from Jordan Travis.
First down and 10 from the 24. Douglas in motion, the top of your screen. Now out on the flank blocking. This is Benson, the Oregon transfer, picks up about 4 on the play. Benson last week ran the ball for 55 yards on 10 carries and a touchdown. Good numbers and a big afternoon catching the football in their win against Wake Forest. This Seminole team is very balanced. Morlock and Douglas, the tight ends. That's Ja'Kai Douglas in motion. Little flea flicker. Travis into coverage. Incomplete. Broken up by A.J. Woods. Intended for Darian Williamson. And sets up 3rd and 6.
Real nice job by A.J. Woods. You're going to see him right here going one-on-one against Williamson. Doesn't bite on the flea flicker. You see there, he's not able to get his head back around. Sometimes you're not when you're not in phase with the wide receiver, and plays the eyes and the hands of the wide receiver in there. You see what Pitt is going to be trying to do right there. You see Brandon George, the linebacker, putting hits on this quarterback. They knocked him out of the game a couple of years ago down in Tallahassee. This is a Pat Narduzzi hallmark. Pressure on the quarterback at all times.
3rd and 6. He delivers for the first down. Out to the 38-yard line. Goes right back to Darian Williamson, who was able to hang on.
And you're going to see Williamson right here just run the little slant. And you see him catch it in that little zone void. Williamson, big target, 6'3", 204 pounds. Nice catch radius. He's going to need to step up. They've got a fleet of young wide receivers on this football team. It's big that Coleman and Johnny Wilson aren't playing, but these young guys, they will step up. They will deliver.
Somebody's got to get those targets. So Philly in motion. They're going to hand it off to Rodney Hill. Nowhere to go for him. George making the tackle on the play. Brandon George, middle linebacker, 5th-year senior out of Reading, PA.
One thing you're seeing about Pittsburgh and their second-level defenders, their linebackers right now, they are firing downhill, which is something that Pat Narduzzi was demanding of them. They know that shutting down the run game is a big part of them having any chance here this afternoon against this high-powered Florida State offense.
2nd and long. They set up the screen. Got a man wide open. That's Hill with the first down. Ran over his defender. Oh, he put his hat down and gave smoke all the way down to 16. Donovan McMillan got eviscerated when Hill put his hat down. A gain of 48 on the play.
We talked about the screen game and how it was going to play a big part in the Florida State attack. And you can see Rodney Hill's going to be one-on-one against McMillan in the open field. You stop your feet on contact, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get run over, and you're going to be put on SportsCenter highlights. That's exactly what the result of the play was.
1st and 10. They're going to hand it off to Rodney Hill. And Travis, meanwhile, has gone over 10,000 yards total in his career.
I mean, Donovan McMillan is a big safety now. He's 6'2", 210 pounds in his own right. And he's a good hitter and a good tackler. You've got to bring your feet against high-quality backs like Florida State has. Otherwise, you're just not going to get the result that you want.
Yeah, they got a stable of them back there, Lewis. Great point with Benson, Toafili, Hill we've seen. And right now, they're threatening when we come back.
Pitt has been giant killers in the past. They're up against it today, but it can be done.
On defense right now, 1st and 10. They set up another screen. Bell. And the screen game, an early prevailing storyline here for Florida State.
Yeah, I mean, screens against teams that are high-pressure teams are something that offensive coordinators do all the time. They're called slow-down plays because now what it does, it makes you, one, not to call pressures, meaning sending 5 or more, and it makes your defensive line slow down because they're a big part of defending the screen game. So it's a way to calm all of that down, and Mike Norvell is executing it to a T.
11th play of the drive coming up. Used up almost 5.5 minutes of possession. On the sweep, Toafili, he put it on the ground last time, hangs on to it this time, but is tackled by McIntyre. 4th down coming up. And let's see what the decision is going to be for Mike Norvell. Dictated a lot by analytics these days.
This is one of the best teams in the red zone in college football. 1st in the ACC, 11th overall in terms of TD percentage once they get down in here.
ESPN analytics say go on 4th and 4 or less.
Then I'm trying to get the ball to Trey Benson. I'm getting it to my back. We're getting Jordan Travis on the edge.
Here's Benson up the middle. He's going to be short. Pitt will take over on downs. Brandon George with the stop. That defense fired up.
Linebacker play mark is setting the tone for this defense right now. Brandon George, number 30. He's been playing downhill all day. That's one of the best plays he's had all year long. 1st and 10 Pitt offense.
Back everyone to Pittsburgh. Panthers getting a stop on 4th down to take over. 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. There, out of the end zone, completes it for the 1st down to his tight end, Gavin Bartholomew, who they've been trying to integrate even more. They can't get him the ball enough, Lewis. He's got 16.
No, they definitely got to get it to him. When you're looking at the do's and don'ts here, Florida State expose the holes in Pitt's coverage. They've done that a little bit. And don't let Christian Veilleux gain confidence. Well, with a throw like that, he's going to gain some confidence. For Pittsburgh, attack the edges offensively, running the football against these pass-rushing defensive ends, and don't get bullied defensively. Well, I'd say so far, they've acquitted themselves well. A lot of ball game left.
Handed off on 1st down. Flemister going to be stopped up at the line of scrimmage by Lovett and Jared Verse. Here's a look at the story of the offense for Pitt last week against Notre Dame. They were languid and listless, and that's being nice. 0 snaps in the red zone. That has to be rectified this afternoon.
Mark, they got to get the ball on the edges running the football. Inside, the offensive guards right now for Pittsburgh are getting chewed up by the defensive tackles for Florida State. Farmer, Daniel Lyons, Braden Fist. These guys are studs. They got to get on the edges.
Veilleux with time from that offensive line. Incomplete. Intended for Mumfield. And it's going to be 3rd and 10 coming up. It's interesting. You talked about the offensive line, Lewis. They've got 2 freshmen starting on the right side of the offensive line, and their 6-year senior and redshirt junior, another senior, pardon me, starting on that left side.
Yeah, they're going to be a left-hand dominated run team, or they should be, especially when they're trying to get out here on the edges. The strength of this team is the wide receivers. They've got playmakers. They've got to get it to zero Bub Means. Got to get it to Mumfield, number 9.
Big pass through the hands of his receiver Bartholomew again. And it'll be 4th and 10. So after that 1st down, they go 3 and out on the next series.
Veilleux had Bartholomew open. Just got to get the ball down a little bit and put it on him. But if you know anything about Christian Veilleux, he will not be shaken by this shaky start. He's someone who has a great sense about him, has a lot of confidence.
Came after the punter, Caleb Junko. who got off a great punt last time, pinned them inside the 1-yard line. And Caleb Junko actually coming up hobbling after that punt. Dribbles all the way down to about the 22-yard line. A 54-yard effort. When we come back, Jordan Travis, pardon me, we're going to stay right here.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here at Jordan Travis and what makes him so special here. It's just about field vision, about manipulating coverage with his eyes so he can hit that seam ball down the left sideline. And then his courage under fire. You won't shake this guy. You want to pressure him, you want to hit him, you want to get defenders in his face. He will still layer that ball second and third level with tremendous touch. He doesn't have to step into his throws. He can speed up his release at any time. And I'm just telling you, folks, when he decides to run, whether it's by design or by necessity, he can break a game wide open.
Douglas in motion. Travis hands it off to his tailback, Trey Benson, the Oregon transfer. Wow, some interminable effort. Kept those legs churning and picked up a first down for about 13.
You see, it's just a weak side counter play. You're going to see Trey Benson at 220 plus pounds. He's got great feet, great center of gravity. You better bring your feet, you better wrap him up, or yardage after contact is going to add up quickly.
223 pounds. Great comeback story after tearing up his knee a couple of seasons ago. Here's a design quarterback run. Travis out to the 41. McMillan making this. Luther. Good to see him back. 2nd and 6. Douglas in motion again. Travis downfield. Almost intercepted at the 42-yard line by McIntyre, who wishes he had another opportunity at that. He tried to find, Travis did, Hill. It'll be 3rd and 6. This defense is flying around, Lewis.
Yeah, you can see right here, McIntyre, the safety. You're going to see it right here in this quarter's coverage. These two safeties dropping out. Watch him clue this wheel route with great vision. You're going to see the wheel route coming right here. He has great vision on Jordan Travis. You just got to go up and make that play. That's got to be a second turnover for Pitt's defense. You read it perfectly. Just finish the play.
36, Travis gets rid of it downfield, overthrown, and 4th down coming up and tested for Destin Hill again. Covered closely by Philip O'Brien Jr., and the Seminoles will have to punt.
And what you got to like is Pitt's pressure right here. Dayon Hayes coming off the left side, rushing against Jeremiah Byers, the right tackle, getting the hand up in Jordan Travis's face. Look, without these two playmakers on the edge, and Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson, this offense is looking a little different. They're trying to find their footing right now as far as where the big play is going to come from.
Alex Mastromano, the Australian, coming into punt, averaging almost 47 yards per punt this year. Line drive, end over end punt will. Let's see where they spot him. The official's going to confer. See if they
look like it went
a touchback. Yeah. 59 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for Pitt.
You see the ball. You see it from the side. It's there. It's up in the air.
The official's right there on the line.
See it from the opposite angle. You see the ball bouncing. It never hits in the end zone, never touches there. It's in the air. Throw it back into. Oh, does that ball touch the goal line right there?
From the 20. They do a little wildcat. Direct snap to Hammond Jr. Ball came loose, it looked like. Wow. Rodney Hammond Jr. took the direct snap. It'll be 2nd down. It'll end up picking up about 2 yards on the play. Not the way they drew this one up.
This is a big-time hit by linebacker Kalen DeLoach, the leader on their defense. You see it right there. He stands him straight up. Rodney not able to secure that football. You got to be careful now when you're down here in your own territory. These linebackers can fly around. DeLoach and Bethune, they get after it as well as anyone. You saw a glimpse of it right there.
They are under center here on 2nd and 7. Little play action. Gets it out. They're going to rule it second and incomplete. Pat Marduzzi said that we could have the biggest win in college football this week. He was speaking confidence, imbuing his team with confidence during the course of the week. Not like they haven't done it before. And keep in mind that Pitt, over the last couple of years, is 8-0 in the month of November. That's Mumfield.
Still live game. Offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Christian Veilleux making just his 4th start. He started the Louisville game, won that, lost at Wake Forest. And then last week's disaster at Notre Dame, they lost 58-7.
If you're Christian Veilleux right now, you have to just be saying to yourself, look, take what the defense gives you. You saw in that boot pass he had the wide receiver Kenny Johnson out in the flat for what could have been a catch and run situation. Just distribute the football.
Had it batted down to the line of scrimmage that time. And it'll be 4th down and 12. Patrick Payton waving and wagging his finger.
And you're just going to see, there's Patrick Payton right here. You're going to see them just get in the pass lane. You see Payton is tall. He got long arms, long reach. Can't get to the quarterback. All defensive linemen are taught, just get your hands up, disrupt the throwing window. And it's probably a good thing that he did knock that down. He was trying to get the ball to Bartholomew down the middle of the field, and he was double covered. That may have ended up in a pick.
Junko into punt again. He's punted for 53 and 55 yards today so far. This one's returnable. So he takes an auspicious bounce for Pitt down to the 34 of the Seminoles. It'll be 1st and 10 from there after the 48-yard. Lewis, coaches like to say they remember November. For Florida State, what does the month of November mean for them coming in ranked 4th?
Look, I think it's about winning and winning a certain way, Mark. I think they are going to go for style points today if they can. I think that's important for the rest of the way. It's all about how people perceive you to be playing relative to the competition that you're going up against. People expect them to win this game and win it handily. 0-0 here, almost near the end of the 1st quarter.
Nice cut by Trey Benson. Stays on his feet and picks up about 6 yards. Quinn?
I think without Keon Coleman, without Johnny Wilson, this game is a little less about style points and a little more about survival. There's some potential look ahead here. They got Miami at home next week, dealing with the 2 wide receiver injuries. This is a danger game for Mike Norvell and the Seminoles.
2nd down and 4. Douglas in motion. They're going to keep it on the ground again. Benson close to a 1st down. Let's see where they spot it. He was chopped down by Donovan McMillan. It's going to set up a 3rd down and 1 with 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
You just continue to see Pitt's philosophy and their plan of attack as far as this running game. They are firing their linebackers through the A and B gaps relentlessly. Every single play, Brandon George, Simon, these guys are coming downhill.
Benson in the backfield. Travis trying to run it, won't get there. The Pitt defense gets a huge stop on 3rd down. Wonderful penetration by Braylon Lovelace, who lacerated that offensive line. Loss of 1, and that's the end of the quarter.
What does Christian need to improve upon?
He's just got to relax in the pocket. He's a young, nervous guy. He's just got to relax a little bit and take what they're giving you. He's got Kenny Johnson open on that naked. Just take the 5 yards and give us a 3rd down is short. So just got to take what they're giving you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Can't win it all at once. 4th and 2. Seminoles going to punt. Alex Mastromano rolls to his right, nose of the football down. And Devonshire calls a fair catch back at the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 after the 40-yard punt from there. Rodney Hammond in the backfield on 1st and 10. Bayer with no one to throw it to. The ball came out of his hand. Good pursuit by Kevin Knowles. That was a funky looking play, partner.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to get his ball here in the quick game. And Florida State had it covered, and then you see
On the field is a forward pass.
Kevin Knowles.
He's 2nd down.
Called a forward pass on the field.
I don't know if that was a forward pass. But nevertheless, they had everything trying to get the ball out of his hands quick on the quick game to the short side of the field. Florida State snipped it out perfectly.
They are 1 for 7 so far. Total of 17 yards. Taking a shot deep. Got a man on the post. Caught. Mumfield on the move. They spotted. No touchdown signal yet. Still a conversation. Still waiting. And they're going to mark it. Eventually, the ball came out. Here's the call.
Ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense in the end zone. That plays under further review.
Wow. A cataclysmic, calamitous ending to the end of that run by Mumfield. The ball came out. His back was to us. We couldn't see all of what transpired right there from this wonderful reverse angle, and then recovered in the end zone by Cypress.
I mean, what a fantastic play call. Let's just start from there. Against quarters coverage on a double move to Mumfield.
Clearly came out, Lewis.
And then, then you see the corner, Fentrell Cypress. Defensive backs are taught all the time. It's not over until it's over. You chase it down and watch his right arm. Right there. He slides it down. Mumfield doesn't secure the football. And before his knee touches the ground, before any body part touches the ground, that ball is out. You see it right there.
Yeah, it's clearly a fumble.
That's a fantastic.
The call on the field was a fumble by Mumfield.
Ball's out.
And recovered by the defense, Florida State, in the end zone. Some of the fans obviously indicating that the officials may have missed a face mask. Now he comes from out of bounds.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchback.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's right. That will leave your jaw agape. And your head coach fuming on the sidelines.
That is just a gut punch of a play and a result.
Unbelievable.
Great play call. Christian Veyer standing in the pocket, delivering a strike.
Had to hit that, and he did.
I mean, that's as good as you can get.
So after the fumble, it'll be 1st and 10. That 81-yard completion by Veyer, a career long. He'd rather have the touchdown. Travis taking a shot after the turnover. Incomplete, and a flag going to be called. Pass intended for Ja'Kai Douglas. Marquez Williams, the defender. Call PI here.
If you're going to see him right here, you'll see it. You see the left hand. He's gonna hook Ja'Kai with that left arm. And if you're materially affecting his ability to get down the field, they're going to call that flag. I mean, that's an easy call. I mean, I understand.
Pass interference. Defense number 14. Automatic first down.
If the fans are upset, I get it, man. I get it. They just saw potentially a touchdown that would have put them ahead in this football game called back.
You look at the numbers in this game, and outside of that one 81-yard play, Pittsburgh hadn't put many numbers up. It feels like Florida State should be winning at least 10-0 by now, but still tied. Bell in motion, the tight end. Travis hits him, and he's met immediately at the 28-yard line by Kamara. Let's go back to the studio. 2nd and 12 coming up.
Right now you see Florida State just not able to get anything going on the perimeter. And Pitt is keeping the pressure up as far as firing these linebackers in the A and B gaps, trying to make Jordan Travis make quick decisions as much as possible.
Trey Benson in the backfield. Travis, there's another screen, complete to the tight end, Morlock, and he's going to be stopped up a couple of yards shy of the first down. Coach Narduzzi talked about slowing down the screen game. How do you do that?
Well, one of the things, it's about recognition. It's about, for the defensive linemen, once they understand that they're getting a screen pass set, they got to turn and run and chase things down inside out. Defenders got to play with vision, and when you've got an opportunity to get guys on the ground in the open field, you got to make the tackles.
3 receivers to the bottom of your screen, little bunch formation. Travis had it blocked at the line of scrimmage. Knocked down by Shane Simon, the transfer from Notre Dame, who said when he was dissecting the tape, a lot of things came to life. They'd be better this week, and they have been.
You're going to see him right here. You're going to see Shane Simon. Again, these linebackers just firing in the A and B gaps. Get the hand up. You're not going to get there. Just get the hand up. Just crowd the throwing lane. This is as spirited a game, as spirited a start to the game defensively for Pitt as they've had all year long. They are playing downhill, playing with passion, playing with physicality. And right now, without their wide receivers on the edge, without Keon Coleman, without Johnny Wilson, Jordan Travis is having to attack in a much different way. This offense becomes much more constricted. And you're seeing right now it's playing right into the hands of what Pitt likes to do.
Meanwhile, partner Solomon DeShields, right there, number 23. Their star linebacker. Star is in position linebacker, limping off the field. He was knocked out of the Wake Forest game on the first play a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned how well their linebackers have been playing so far. Big key in being able to keep this Florida State prolific offense in check. 4th and 3 coming up. Alex Mastromano going to punt for the Seminoles, his 3rd of the afternoon. End over end punt, fair catch called at the 17-yard line by Devonshire. It'll be 1st and 10 from there after the 44-yard punt. Thayer on the sticks when we come back. We're in Pittsburgh at the confluence of that's the Allegheny and the Monongahela River. Right at the confluence. They meet to form the Ohio River. Some of us paid attention in geography class. Thayer taking a shot, incomplete. Tried to hit Mumfield. How much confidence do you think that one throw gave him?
Oh, it'll give him plenty right now because he knows that he can throw the football in rhythm. He can put it down the field on the money. Now it's going to be about the decision making in the short and intermediate passing game, especially in high traffic areas. Make good decisions. Keep the ball down. Don't have it floating on you. Don't try doing too much. Take the easy gains. Let the receivers catch and run. That's all a big part of it. Let's see if he can build off of it.
2nd down and 10.
I will say this, offensive line holding up so far in pass protection.
He steps up there. Looked like he was trying to throw it away, but we might add a highlight catch on the sidelines by Reynolds. Dejon Reynolds picks up 16 with the catch.
The man they call Day-Day. You see him right here just tracking the ball. Left foot on the... It's still touching.
He's in.
He keeps it in. That's as good as you'll see, folks. That's as good as you'll see. That's his tremendous sideline instincts. Great hands.
Never gave up on it.
But this wide receiver core for Pitt with Means, Kenny Johnson, Day-Day, and Mumfield. It's a very good group.
Bayer hands it off. to Daniel Carter, his first carry of the game, and a nice game for about 6 yards. You see Carter, Flemister, Hammond Jr. Second down and 4.
You can see what offensive coordinator Frank Cignetti is thinking by giving Daniel Carter a run. He's 230 pounds. Get that ball between the tackles, see if you can get some physicality established up front.
There, threw it away. Bartholomew was covered. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Good pressure up front by Byron Turner for the Seminoles. Vail, an interesting story. A native of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. That's about 5 hours east on the north shore of Lake Ontario, east of Toronto. Went to an academy in the Buffalo area as a young teen. Was coached by Victor Todondo. And then went to high school in the Maryland area, where he started getting looks. And then ultimately ended up signing with Penn State out of high school. Little pressure coming. They almost got through him, and it's incomplete. Bartholomew couldn't hang on to it. He was hit immediately. And it's 4th and 4, Lewis.
This is a nice play by linebacker DJ Lundy. On the pressure, you're going to see Lundy coming right here, and you're going to see him get out here to Bartholomew and just get there just in the nick of time. That's a good job by Vair getting the ball out of his hands as he's getting pressured by Bethune.
Staying alive.
What a nice play by DJ Lundy. All 3 of these linebackers, Kalen Deloach, Lundy, number 10, Bethune, they've shown up so far today for Florida State's defense.
Fair catch called back at the 18-yard line by Douglas. The Seminoles in control when we come back.
5 college teams whose
Miami.
homes stadiums they share with NFL teams.
There you go.
I live 15 minutes from the stadium. I got to get that one. South Florida.
2 for 2.
Let me call this play, get back to you, too. 1st and 10. Benson in the backfield. Travis keeps it, going to pick up a yard. Brought down by Donovan McMillan.
The pressure, the relentless pressure of a Pat Narduzzi defense, sending 5 or more play after play after play and saying, look, we're going to build a wall up front. If your wide receiver core without your 2 big home run hitters can beat us on the outside, then so be it. But we can't let you establish the run game against us.
2nd and 9. Travis taking a shot. Incomplete at the 45-yard line. No flag on the play. Devonshire broke it up. It was intended for Hill.
That's the kind of play that you need from MJ Devonshire. And this is where you miss Johnny Wilson. This is where you miss Keon Coleman. Those guys can usually elevate over guys who are 5'11", 6 foot. And here you see Devonshire win because he gets the highest at the point of attack, wins that jump ball situation. Those are the kind of plays Pitt defense is going to need all afternoon.
Third and 9. Travis incomplete, and this is as disjointed, as disconcerted as we've seen Florida State maybe at any point this year. That's their 3rd 3 and out already in the ballgame.
Like right now, you can tell Jordan Travis isn't really on the same page as his wide receiver core. The pressure's starting to get to him a little bit. The wide receivers right now haven't been able to win one-on-one and get Pitt's defensive backs credit. They're playing good tight coverage, challenging at the catch point. Look, I mean, as deep and as talented as Florida State is, there's just no way you are not going to feel the effects of not having Keon Coleman and Johnny Wilson. There's just no way you can get around it.
Ostromano, they came after it a little bit, but he gets it off cleanly all the way down to the 36-yard line, where Devonshire makes the fair catch on the 44-yard punt. Let's get back to our Aflac trivia question. Aflac. Question was, who are the 5 FBS teams that play their home games in NFL Stadium? Okay, I got South Florida, Pitt here, University of Miami at Hard Rock.
I'm trying to think of the others.
Vanderbilt. Philly.
Temple,
bing, bing, bing. Out west, Las Vegas.
Oh,
UNLV plays out at Allegiant.
That's what I was told today. That was the one I didn't know. So
I didn't know
Temple,
they played at Allegiant either.
South Florida, Miami, UNLV, and Pitt. And what makes Pitt's situation unique, Lewis, they share the practice facility with the Steelers, which the players seem to love.
Yeah, and then there's some word that, maybe Pittsburgh at some point in time, the Steelers, that is, builds their own facility, and Pitt takes over that entire building.
Nice gain by Rodney Hammond Jr. About 5 yards. We went by the practice facility, which is adjacent to the Steelers. And I'll tell you what, when guys like Hammond Jr. and other players see the G-Ride, see the Bugatti, see the Lambo, that'll make you stay in the weight room an extra half hour.
It sure does. And look, and Shane Simon talked about that. And there you see the Cathedral of Learning, one of the most beautiful buildings on any campus anywhere in the world. And what Pitt really symbolizes what Pitt is all about.
Gaping hole up the middle and a nice run. A sprint by Hammond for the first down. That offensive line is one of the stories of the game so far.
Well, you can just see right now, they're getting some double teams there at the point of attack. And you can see Hammond just running with authority, getting downhill quickly. The play previous, they were able to capture the edge, able to get Patrick Payton, number 11, the defensive end, knocked off the ball. And this is something that Frank Cignetti said he needed to do, and that the offensive line needed to accept the challenge. And so far on this drive,
1st and 10.
They're doing just that.
Bayer off the play fake, delivers, got a man, caught at the 18, Means. But we have a flag down back near the line of scrimmage at the 41.
Personal foul. Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 11. That penalty will be enforced after this use of the goal. First down.
Looks like it was Patrick Payton that hit Gavin Bartholomew. 29-yard gain, first down for Pitt.
You can see Patrick Payton right here at the bottom of your screen against Bartholomew. Watch the right hand as it starts to get up right there. It's on the face mask. And Bub Means just runs a nice route here. And again, this guy is 6'2", 215 pounds. He's going to go up and take the ball out of the air. Strong hands. This downfield passing game for Pittsburgh, we talked about it. The wide receivers are the strength of this offense, and right now they're showing up.
They've got some good size ones, too. There's the jump ball to prove it. Bounce! Touchdown! Ball Means! The 6'2" Bub Means went up and took it away from Bernardo Green. He had a mouse in the house. It's his 4th touchdown catch this season, the 8th of his career. And for quarterback Christian Bayer, his 6th touchdown pass of the season and another confidence builder, partner. They lead 7-0.
Look, and they went after Florida State's best defensive back. Bernardo Green is a semi-finalist for the Jim Thorpe Award, awarded to the best defensive back in the country. And Bub Means says, hey, that's good. I'm good with that. I'm just going to take this off the top of your head. And I'm going to finish this play. Right now, Pitt is rolling. They're gaining that confidence. So look out. You see Bayer right there. He's on a roll.
Acknowledge me or not, that don't really make no difference to me.
Welcome back, everyone, to Pittsburgh. And the block is hot. Pitt up 7-0. It'll be 1st and 10 Seminoles from their own 25. Hey, this season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, Allstate will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, Allstate. Florida State 1st and 10, and boy, if not for that fumble by Pittsburgh after that 81-yard pass and catch and run, it could have been 14-0.
Sure could. I'm sure there'll be some second guessing of Mike Norvell for not taking the points when he was deep in the red area as well.
Jordan Travis, meanwhile, just 2 of his last 7 passing. Going to keep it on a design quarterback run. Makes it out to the 30-yard line. Picks up 5 on the play. Solomon DeShields, who's back in the ball game. We saw him shaken up a little bit earlier. Made the tackle.
You think there's any question that Jordan Travis has to put his imprint on this game by any means necessary? Trey Benson has to put his imprint on this game in order to get this offense on track.
Douglas in motion. Going to hand it off to Benson, trying to get to the edge. Stayed on his feet and ran out of bounds right near that first down marker. It appears as if he got enough to move the chains. Trey Benson, an amazing comeback story. A couple of years ago, while at Oregon, blew out his ACL, his LCL, his MCL, and every other CL. Some thought he'd never play again. He told me that people laughed when Florida State took him out of the portal, and here he is, a very prolific member of the football squad. On the screen to the tight end, Douglas, who's chopped down immediately, just shy of the 40-yard line. It'll be about a 4-yard gain. Donovan McMillan making the tackle.
This is a great job by Donovan McMillan. When you're talking about recognizing the screen, we talked about how do you slow him down. A lot of times it's just about recognition. It's just about vision. And you see Donovan McMillan right there. He had his eyes on the tight end Douglas the entire time, played with discipline, got him down on the ground. That's how you stop screens. It's about football intelligence and play recognition.
Toafili in the backfield. McMillan had a good week of practice. Tough, big, fast, big hitter. They come right up the middle on Travis, and he beat them, found the hot guy. Ja'Kai Douglas for the first down, picked up 10, Lewis.
Yeah, I mean, you see right there, Shane Simon just coming up the gut again, and they will vacate some zones in the back end in the name of trying to get pressure. They're thinking, I can hit your quarterback before you can find the zone hole.
That time Travis won the battle down the sidelines. Incomplete, intended for Douglas. Good defense by A.J. Woods. This is a different Pittsburgh defense from last week against Notre Dame.
It's incredibly different. Their confidence right now, Mark, is through the roof, and we all know what confidence can do to our performances.
A player shaken up down on the field for Pittsburgh. We'll get the report on the other side. Eckrick Statement Saturday. You're watching ESPN College Football here on ESPN, and out of the backfield, this is Douglas. Going to be stopped up about 3 yards shy of the first down. Third down coming up. What do you like in terms of a play call for Florida State?
I mean, here, look, I would want to get Jordan Travis out on the perimeter. Get him outside the pocket. Get him away from this A and B gap pressure that Pitt keeps sending. And let him use his legs. And see if they can get Jaheim Bell, Kyle Morlock, one of these tight ends open too. The wide receivers just aren't as good as your frontline guys. Get to some of the mismatches on the inside, but get the quarterback on the edge.
Toafili in the backfield. Travis taking a shot. Got the man in a catch. First and goal, Ja'Kai Douglas. Got in behind A.J. Woods.
That is a beautiful throw and catch. You see Ja'Kai Douglas on the slot fade, as they call it. And Jordan Travis just puts it right on him. Beautiful throw. That is what you come to expect from a guy of Jordan Travis's caliber. He's done it all year long, and now he's starting to deliver.
38 yards in all, first and goal. They're going to keep it on the ground, and Toafili will tote it down inside the 1. McIntyre finally making the stop as we approach 5 minutes to go in the first half. The number 4 Seminoles trailing Pitt, who come in at 2-6. Toafili stopped up short of the end zone. Kamara flexed up, bowed up, and made the stop.
That's a heck of a play by Bengali Kamara, beating the block of the right tackle Jeremiah Byers, and being able to keep Toafili out of the end zone. Shane Simon coming in to help him. McIntyre. Now here's where the running ability of Jordan Travis becomes a problem.
Toafili in the backfield. He's going to keep it. And they're going to blow a dead first timeout. Pitt before the snap of the ball.
Prior to the snap, Pitt takes its first time out of the half.
So Pitt burns its first of its 3 timeouts. Florida State with its full complement remaining right there. They showed their hand a little bit, going to try and keep it with Travis on the ground. And Lewis, you intimated that point a moment ago. Whenever Jordan Travis becomes aware of his ability to run the ball when he wants to, they're even more lethal. But when you account for them unable to score, they average 42 points a game.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to?
A little bit of it for them, obviously, is because they don't have their heavy hitters on the outside. And look, Keon Coleman, I mean, these guys are going up over top of people at a ridiculous rate and able to make those one-on-one plays that not many people in college football can make. So they're missing them. So that's obviously something that's hurting them. They get down there inside the red area. They try to go for it on 4th down. Pitt's defense rises up. So also, give Pitt credit. They are playing their best defensive game of the year against one of the most powerful offenses in all of college football. This is how it goes sometimes. You have to play the game. On paper, it may look one way, but we all know oftentimes it can turn out not even close to what you expected.
They go quick on the snap. Benson in the backfield. They try and push Travis in, and he makes it. Touchdown, Seminoles. Jordan Travis kept it for the touchdown. In that mass of humanity and bodies piled on top of each other on the field.
Ruin on the field is a touchdown.
Travis doing it himself, capping a 10-play drive.
You see him, he's trying to just gives off to the right. Yeah, you see the ball there. It breaks the plane to the goal line clearly. That's a heck of an answer by Jordan Travis. A heck of a throw to Ja'Kai Douglas on the slot fade.
His 7th rushing touchdown of the season, the 31st of his career. He's already gone over 10,000 yards passing for his career earlier in the game. And Ryan Fitzgerald ties the game at 7 apiece. With 4:10 to go in the opening half. You know, you could tell Jordan Travis was going to have a big year earlier this year when they defeated LSU and then Clemson, and able to turn the beat around here. When you talk about 8-13 in his first 2 years, and then that might have been the low point, the loss to Jacksonville State. And then the resurrection, the tipping point coming in that win against Syracuse. And now they've won their last 14 games. 3rd longest winning streak in FBS. You know, I was talking about the win over Clemson and LSU. After that, Travis sold t-shirts on his NIL website that said Tiger King. After defeating the LSU Tigers and Clemson Tigers, he sold the shirts for $31.24, which was the final score, 31-24, when they defeated Clemson. I like a little bit of petty in my quarterback, Lewis.
So do I. And this young man by no means is someone who does not have a great sense of the journey that he has traveled, the road that he has traveled on, how much further he still wants to go. What a refreshing outlook in terms of his self-awareness and his commitment to this football team. And you see right there, he's so grounded, he hasn't been shaken by this game.
Rodney Hammond in the Wildcat takes the snap. Veer was lined up as a receiver. Q, you have a little bit more.
Yeah, looking to become the Panther King today. It just needs like some blue and gold paint to change that one over. This game's bringing out his competitive excellence. This game is sparking a fire within Travis, who scored that touchdown, whispered to the crowd as if to quiet down. But I just sense, without easy, explosive touchdowns today, it's going to bring out the gritty side of Jordan Travis.
He's been through a lot. Young man who, after losing to Notre Dame back in 2020, was booed off the field, sank so low and had so much self-doubt and lack of confidence that he considered quitting football at one point, were it not for the uplifting of his brother and his family that got him back on track. That was Bartholomew that was shaken up a moment ago for Pitt.
And that was the key word, Mark. when I asked him, I said, look, what do you attribute this to? Your level of play, your continuous up in the ante in terms of your performance. And he said it's all about confidence. And it isn't just about my own self-confidence. He said, I have an army of people around me that have really helped me, that have really infused and poured into me. And what you're seeing is the result of all that support and that support structure that he has around him.
A great story. 2nd down and 8. Flemister in the backfield. And we got a little bit of motion. That was Flemister.
False start. Offense, number 24. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Oh, yeah.
He sees it. He sees Deloach and Bethune starting to show like they're going to come through those A and B gaps. And hey,
Don't want to be late, huh?
Florida State is saying, hey, look, y'all can do that to our quarterback. Let's see how you guys like it.
So it's up with 2nd and 13.
The pressure has played a major role in this game on both quarterbacks, and they're going to have to answer for it the entire game.
Veyer, incomplete. Intended for Buck Means. Bernardo Green back there defending in the secondary. One of the top DBs that they've gotten in the ACC, not just Florida State.
We're talking about pressure. I want you to watch Braden Fisk right here take Jake Cradle and just put him back into the lap of Christian Veyer. That's what we're talking about. That pressure up the middle, that just disorients quarterbacks, and that's got to be a major theme for both defensive coordinators. How can we create pressure right up the middle to make these quarterbacks not have clear throwing lanes? It's going to play out all afternoon.
Veyer in the offense 0 of 4 on 3rd down today. Catch, but short of the 1st down to Mumfield. And they'll have to punt here. In all probability, a 9-yard gain, but we got a flag down back at the line of scrimmage at the 13.
I think we might have roughing the passer, huh?
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 11. 15-yard penalty, automatic, 1st down.
Going to go against Patrick Payton. The pass rusher off the edge.
That's a big-time break for Pitt. You're going to see he gets the long-arm bull rush, and then the right hand goes up to the helmet and hits Veyer on the side of the helmet. That's just not smart football, and you can see Mike Lavelle right there saying, look, we had a chance to get another possession here before the half, and you let them off the hook. And that's just the kind of break that a team like Pitt is looking for, because now they're gaining confidence. Again, that theme, gaining confidence, the quarterback gaining confidence.
They've been drawn up a better script here in the 1st half so far. Backs out of the eye. Flemister, flag down. Flemister down right near the line of scrimmage. Young man who was voted a team captain.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
Branson Taylor, who missed last week's game against Notre Dame, one of those sage and seasoned voices and players on the offensive line, especially on that left side. That offensive line hasn't been as porous as some might have thought coming into the game today.
Yeah, the performance is still uneven. You can see there are times where they are losing the line of scrimmage battle decisively, and other times they're coming off the football. And then you hear the mistakes.
Wow.
The penalties. False starts.
False start. Offense number 24. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
I was just going to say, after a rough start at Pitt, Flemister found his footing and his rhythm in his routine, but 2 costly errors on this drive so far. They've committed 5 penalties, Pitt has, for 37 yards. Rodney Hammond in the backfield now on 1st and 25. Veyer complete at the 37-yard line. That's Reynolds. Reynolds trying to fight for every yard. His forward progress is going to be marked at the 39, so he'll pick up 8. Pitt with 2 timeouts remaining.
And there you see the arm strength of Veyer. Opposite hash, getting the ball to the wide side of the field, putting it on a rope, getting it there in a hurry. These are the kind of physical gifts that this young man has that you'll be able to see more of if they can protect him They've been able to get some deep shots down the field on some good pass protection. We'll see if that's going to be the case all game long.
Yeah, you recognize his arm talent right away. 2nd and 17. Off the mark that time. Intended for Carter Johnson. Taps his chest, says, my bad, that one's on me. 3rd and 17 coming up.
Again, miscommunications. Remember, they are just making his 4th start here at Pittsburgh. New offense, new surroundings, new supporting cast. There's going to be these hiccups. And if you're Florida State, you have to make them pay. You have to make them pay. You're the 4th-ranked team in the country. You have one of the best pass defenses in the entire country. You have to make the young quarterback pay.
Knowles in a fight right now. Veyer through the arms of his intended receiver, number 3, Reynolds. And it's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
See Veyer trying to just thread this slant play in here to Reynolds. He puts it on him. If he could have just got 2 hands up to maybe make this catch. And sometimes wide receivers, they will alligator arm some throws like this when they're in a high traffic area.
Right. Ja'Kai Douglas back for this punt for the Seminoles. Perched at his own 21-yard line. Junko with the kick. It's going to bounce at about the 30 and trickle out of bounds at about the 25. It'll be 1st and 10 from there. Jaheim Bell in motion now set. Travis incomplete, intended for Bell. Couldn't catch up to it. Jaheim Bell, another one of those potent weapons, versatile player.
It's the pressure. Jaheim Bell was coming open on that what they call a wide deep cross. He's just running a crossing route on the 3rd level of the defense. He was open, but again, the pressure that time from DeShields, it just changes everything. It's not always about sacks. It's just about disrupting the quarterback's throwing vision, his throwing lanes. And Pitt is doing a good job of that so far in this game.
Douglas split wide to the bottom of your screen. Travis the other way. Back shoulder fade, incomplete, intended for Portier. Sorry.
Pressure all game long in the A and B gaps. The linebackers having to play downhill. Pat Narduzzi, he challenged his linebacker core. He said, look, we're not going to jump around blocks. We're not going to go in there half-stepping. We're going to go in there and we're going to play with physicality. And I want you to challenge these guys at the catch point as well. Because every single quarterback, Jordan Travis, or whether it's him or if it's a young quarterback making his 4th start like Christian Veyer, pressure affects every quarterback, and you're seeing how it plays itself out in real time.
And last pass intended for Portier. 3rd and 10. Travis complete to the tight end, Kyle Morlock. Still on his feet, amazingly. Morlock in the open field. Down to the 11-yard line. And a costly missed tackle by McMillan and Simon results in a 64-yard gain.
This can't happen if you're Pitt's defense. You can't have 2 of your best defenders at the point of attack against a tight end like Kyle Morlock and let him split both of you and then create an explosive like that. That's twice now that big explosive plays have happened because of missed tackles. And those are the kind of things that you're going to look back on and you lose this game as saying key turning points.
Travis hands it off to Toafili. Toafili inside the 10-yard line. Approaching a minute to go here in the opening half. We got a player shaking up down
Time
on
out
the field.
on the field for an injured player.
Looks like Tyler Bentley. So 1:10 to go. This Pittsburgh defense has held up extremely well. On the season, they average, they give up 28, almost 29 a game, but holding a very potent offense for Florida State to just 7 so far. Trey Benson comes in.
It's been the big explosive plays. They've held Florida State to 3.2 yards per rush, but it's those plus 20-yard explosives that right now are giving them some problems. And still, it's just a 7-7 ball game.
fake the jet sweep. Travis under duress. Wisely throws it away. Portier, the intended receiver. Good pressure by Nate Temple, the defensive end. You know, when you don't have those tall 6'4", 6'7" receivers in Wilson and Coleman, you lose the back shoulder fade, and they're a big back shoulder fade team, right?
Yeah, you sure do. But you know, we saw Kyle Morlock, the tight end, with the big catch and run down the middle of the field. He is 6'6", 240 pounds. He's in essence another big wide receiver for them. That's a guy who I would look for down here because of the catch radius that he has.
3rd and 9 for Florida State. And we're going to have a timeout.
Florida State takes its first timeout of the half.
Norvell.
30-second timeout.
Going to talk it over with his staff. 39 seconds to go. A couple of timeouts remaining.
We'll never know what the play call was going to be, but you saw big 6'6" Kyle Morlock going in motion. He was going to be in a one-on-one situation with the safety McIntyre at the top of the screen. I have a feeling they may have been trying to get the ball to him right there. Now, we'll never know, so I'm just going to say they were. But let's just see if they're trying to get something with him one-on-one. We saw him at practice a month ago down in Tallahassee, and he is fantastic.
Third and 9. Little movement up front. Let's see who this is against.
I think we're going to get it on Morlock. I think it's a false start on the tight end, 84.
Yeah, that expression might confirm what you just said.
False start. Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down. Please just hit the game clock to 39 seconds, 039. Thank you.
You get Morlock and the back. Benson, both of them moved.
Wow.
Could have called it on either one.
See how they line up here. Bell and Ja'Kai Douglas split to the left, to the bottom of your screen for Jordan Travis. And a single receiver to the top. He goes that way, up in the air. Caught but out of bounds. Incomplete. Intended for Williamson. Hey, what about this Panther defense? They have been impervious for the most part here in the first half.
Look, they put the corners one-on-one out on the edge a lot. And there, you're a Florida State fan, you're sitting there going, hey, is that not pass interference? You can see A.J. Woods, the corner, has his hand
I was just going to ask you
in the chest of Williamson. That may be one that they missed right there.
Ryan Fitzgerald in to attempt this field goal as a result. From 32 yards out. And we get a timeout.
Before the snap, Pittsburgh takes its second timeout of the half.
They're going to try and put Alex Mastromano, Ryan Fitzgerald on ice. Last week he went 5 for 5 at Wake Forest. 10 of 11 on the season. They're going to review that last catch down by the end zone. Maybe it was a little more question than we thought.
You see there, I think his left foot is out of bounds.
Yeah, no, I don't see anywhere how that stands for.
You see, I was just wondering, like, if anything, it was pass interference. Ball, let's see.
He's out of bounds by the time it's in his arms.
Yeah.
Here's the field goal attempt. Fitzgerald from 32 gives the Seminoles a 3-point advantage with 30 seconds to go here in the first half. Lewis, when you talk about Seminoles, who are number 4 in the college football playoff standings, against a team who, coming into the game, were a little over 3 touchdown underdogs. In that context, what does the lack of style points do for Florida State so far in the first half?
Nothing good.
Nothing?
That's for sure. I mean, it doesn't help them at all. And there's going to be a lot of debate about this game if it stays close like this, once the rankings come out this week, because there's make no mistake about it. That's important at this time of year, especially considering the fact that Pitt looked the way that they did last week at Notre Dame. Florida State still has Jordan Travis. They still have one of the best, most explosive offenses in college football. And I get it. The players that they're missing are huge. The fact that this game right now is a one-score game, a field goal game, and Pitt easily could be up 14-10, that's going to play on people's minds. They're going to take this under consideration. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out and how this game ultimately ends.
Boy, Pitt playing a feisty game today. As we take a look at this week's college football playoff rankings, brought to you by Allstate. Buckeyes had a little bit of a fight against Rutgers earlier this afternoon. What about that Georgia score so far? Tied at 10.
Yeah, I mean, this is an important time of year, man. Things get real tight. That game, Washington at USC, that's going to be a big-time game. Florida State will be keeping their eye on that game depending upon how things happen in this game for them. So there's a lot of intrigue right there within the top 5, top 6.
Washington and Alabama on the fringes there. A spirited run by Daniel Carter. He's made good use of his touches so far today.
There's no question about it.
What about that?
This is a 230-pound fullback / running back that right now is bringing a power component.
It takes its final time out of the half.
To their inside run game that really has not been there.
Yeah. He came up smiling.
No doubt. Look, this is a big boy now, and you can see here, you just watch him right here, how he gets through the hole with a low center of gravity on this inside zone. And you see there the left tackle, Branson Taylor, with a nice block. Watch 78 Branson Taylor right here. Watch what he does to Tatum Bethune. Watch how he gets locked on. Bethune can't get off. And then you just keep driving him, put him on the ground, keep driving him, send a message. When you have a 230-pound running back like that, look, hey, maybe Pitt stumbled upon something. Maybe Frank Cignetti is going to say, hey, look, I kind of like the kind of competitiveness with which he's running, and he gives us a bigger body. And you see there,
play some smash ball in the second half.
There you go. And it's all going to start up front. They need more performance like that out of Branson Taylor, the left tackle. Play with that kind of physicality.
Bayer completes it into the boundary. Bub Means with the catch and run. They're working quickly. Pitt with no timeouts remaining. 18 seconds to go. 7-yard pickup. Nose of the ball at the 48. So maybe you have at least two plays here to get yourself into better field goal range. Bayer completed. Down to the 44. That's Reynolds. Got to move quickly, spike it here.
There they go.
Get one more and then a field goal.
Clock continued to run. The fans calling that out. Saying, hey, you're not going to cheat us at 3 seconds.
Not at the crib.
Please set the game clock to 10 seconds. Please set the game clock to 10 seconds. 1-0. We'll start on the snap as it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, that can't happen at home. Shouldn't. There's a look at Ben Sauls, the place kicker. 0 for 1 last week, 6 of 10 on the season with a long of 51.
Remember now, Pitt deferred to the second half, so they get the ball coming out. This is that 2 for 1 type of situation. Can you score going in and then get the ball in the second half and capitalize again?
Got to get to about the 34 for field goal range. Bayer complete to the sidelines. 5 seconds to go. And we got a flag down 2, though.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty, second down.
You were just praising him a moment ago, huh?
See, that's the inconsistency, right? That's the inconsistency that has plagued this team all year. You see him right there going up against Jared Verse. You just got to let him go.
Yeah, clearly that's a hold. So now with Seminoles going to put 3 DBs all the way back on the 10-yard line. They are going to launch one. Deep downfield. And it's incomplete at about the 12. And that'll do it for the first half.
You can throw the football with accuracy on the outside. His playmakers can make plays in one-on-one situations. You want to get points out of this, because if you get points out of this, and that's big right there. The kickoff out of bounds.
They'll have good field position at the 35 as a result.
Free kick out of bounds. The kicking team, it'll be Pitt football at the 35-yard line.
Quinn, what does Coach Norvell have to say?
Don't panic, finish, stay patient. It's really kind of bizarre. You think about the yardage that Florida State has, almost 300 yards of offense, yet they've only put up 10 points. The red zone has to get better. Their tight ends are their leading receivers in Kyle Morlock and Jaheim Bell. And I just think this game is testing their patience. It's a very different feeling game from other Florida State games we have covered and we have watched.
Hit with the football. Florida State undefeated. Flemister stayed on his feet, made a couple of guys miss, used that straight arm, and finally wrestled out of bounds. There was a missed tackle by Akeem Dent and Patrick Payton, and he picked up 16 as a result.
And just watch Patrick Payton right here. Watch him as he's coming across the field. You got to get him on the ground right there. You got to wrap him up and put the running back on the ground. You're a defensive end. That play should be dead right there. But as you can see why Sebo Flemister was now designated a year-long captain, a permanent captain on this Pitt football team. They respect his competitiveness. He showed it right there.
Real power running. First and 10. Little play action. Taking a shot on the post. Incomplete. No flag intended for Means. Green back there defending for the Seminoles.
Real interesting play. Renardo Green, you can see Bub Means feels as though he was kind of knocked off course because there was some incidental contact down the field. But I like the play call by Frank Signetti, the offensive coordinator, trying to go up top right away. You see it right there. I mean, they're not going to call that, but you see Bub Means looking back at the referee like, hey, what's up with that?
Yeah. Rodney Hammond in the backfield on 2nd and 10. They are going to be sacked back at the 40. They got to him. Kalen DeLoach knifing through that front to make the sack.
One of the leaders on this defense, you're going to see DeLoach on the linebacker fire. He's just coming downhill. And you can just see right there, Christian Vayers just got to get that ball out of his hands.
That's DeLoach's 5th sack of the year. Sets up a long 3rd and 21.
You had the strong run by Flemister. They tried to take a shot over the top. They don't get it. Now you get yourself set back on the sack. It's just a momentum killer.
They're going to be sacked again. That's the 6th one of the day. Fisk, pardon me. Fisk with the sack.
This is a nice pass rush by Braden Fisk. Just watch what he does to Jay Cradle. It's kind of a little bit of a push-pull. Push, and then kind of arm overs him. And Braden Fisk is one of the guys at the coaching staff here, namely Adam Fuller, the defensive coordinator. They rave about him. You see it right there. They said this guy just loves football. He loves playing for Florida State. He loves everything about the game, and he has been playing high-level football all year.
Ball came loose on the hit. Jakeem Douglas unable to squeeze it out of bounds on the 42-yard punt. He never really had a handle on it.
Lucky.
Yeah. Let's take a look at our game track delivered by Papa John's. Some of the cogent pertinent numbers so far. The lowest scoring first half this season for the Seminoles. Just 10 points on the board as we start this 3rd quarter play. This is going to be their first possession.
This possession just as important for Florida State to now start to try and interject some doubt into the minds of Pittsburgh. And say, hey, look up, boy, here comes the tidal wave. Here comes Jordan Travis taking over. They need to go ahead and impose their will now on Pittsburgh.
Trey Benson in the backfield on 1st and 10. Travis gets it out quickly. Pass complete to the tight end. Jaheim Bell nowhere to go. Going to be brought down. A short loss on the play, about half a yard loss.
I can tell you this. The reaction to the screen game now, Pitt is locked in. They are locked in. They're going to have to now start maybe trying to push the ball down the field, getting the ball to Morlock, getting the ball to Jaheim Bell down the field, because the linebackers and the defensive line are rallying quickly to these tight end and halfback screens.
2nd and 11. Travis downfield, pushing it downfield, incomplete at the 42. A.J. Woods there. Man, Lewis, he's made some really brilliant plays in the secondary tonight.
You see what he was trying to do? Yeah. You see what he's trying to do? He's trying to tip that ball up in the air to see if one of his guys is coming in pursuit and see if they can come and get a tip. You see right there, he purposely tries to tip that ball up in the air, hoping that there's a defender trailing the play.
Great point.
That's exceptional awareness on the part of A.J. Woods to say, hey, look, I'm going to break this play up. I'm going to see if we can get a turnover out of this. That's very, very instinctive.
Toe fielding in the backfield on 3rd and 11. And we got flags down on the field.
Before the snap, false start, offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
What's interesting about that play, Mark, the previous on the pass breakup by A.J. Woods, most defensive backs are just thinking in that situation, man, I just want to knock this ball down.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the guy getting up the play. He's trying to set it up. He's thinking next level. Love that. Love that.
3rd and 16. Travis flushed out of the pocket and sacked at the 6. Great backside pursuit by Shane Simon. We spoke with him earlier, and he wants people asking after the game, how did Pitt defeat Florida State?
Penalties declined, it'll be 4th down.
And he's trying to author a chapter of that book right now.
You see, this is Pat Narduzzi calling card. Rush with 6 up front, and then they play a 3 deep, 2 under type of zone scheme in the back. And what they're banking on is this. We're going to get to your quarterback. He's only going to be able to read one side of the field before he can come back and find the zone hole opposite. And right there, you see Jordan Travis immediately. He's flushed out of the pocket, and he can't find that open hole. That's the risk. That's the chance that they're taking by putting pressure on the quarterback like that. And you see, it's been paying off for him today.
Yeah. Even Seminole fans with Excedrin headache number 47. Astromano with the punt. Panthers will have great, auspicious field position on the 2nd possession of the 3rd quarter. Travis shaking his head. Their heads are ringing right now. Only up by 3 after that 39-yard punt. Nose of the ball at the 46. See Travis speaking to Johnny Wilson. One of his valuable receivers not playing today.
Illegal equipment violation on the kicking team. 2 number 5s participating in the down. That 5-yard penalty be added to the end of the return. It'll be Pitt football. 1st down. Timeout.
2 number 5s. Tried to get Pitt with the old banana in the tailpipe. Well, here's a look at the infraction. It was actually the wrong announcement.
The foul was on the receiving team. That penalty's been declined. It'll be Pitt football. 1st down.
He said it was against Florida State, but it was actually against Pitt. They got the wrong team. Double vision there with the 5s. Bears got 1st and 10 from the 46. Keep it on the ground. Hickman with a nice hole over the right side of that offensive line. Running over those more inexperienced linemen. Got 8.
You see the double team at the point of attack by Terrence Moore and B.J. Williams. And there, Kalen DeLoach, his guess is wrong as far as where that ball is going to hit. Jumps out of his gap. And And then immediately, Rodney Hammond's up on the second level. Look, run fits, playing smart, making sure you know where you're supposed to fit are critical. It'll cost you if you don't get it right.
On 2nd and 2, they run over the more proficient side of that offensive line, the left side, and pick up the first down. Hammond again, as you intimated in our conversation before we started the second half, the power running game.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line is starting to kind of come off the ball a little bit. Look, offensive linemen will all tell you they'd much rather come off the ball and try and hit somebody in the run game than constantly being set back on their heels in pass protection. And it's paying off for them right now. They're starting to find a little bit of a rhythm.
There's a look at the numbers so far with respect to rushing. This is Hammond into the boundary. Nice spin move. Falls forward and picked up about 4 yards on the play. Rodney Hammond out of Booker T. Washington High School in Norfolk, Virginia.
You see, now they're even bringing in an extra offensive lineman. Terrence Enos Jr. has come into the game, and they're going with big personnel. Frank Cignetti, you know, by nature, wants to be a power-running football team as far as being a play caller, and now he's bringing big people in because he's sensing something. He's sensing that their offensive line's starting to get a little confident, that the running backs are starting to run with some authority.
2nd down and 6. Right now it's Flemister in the backfield. Play fake. Little waggle action caught by Epps. Epps, that big tight end at 6'6". Brought down after a short game. Akeem Dent there to make the tackle on the 2-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd down coming up. And those are the ball going to be placed at the 26th.
Big play for Florida State's defense. You want to hold Pittsburgh to 3 at the very least.
They're 0 for 6 on 3rd down.
Absolutely. And look, Florida State's one of the best 3rd down defenses in all of college football. And if you're Pitt right now, who are you going to? Who's been making the plays? It's been Mumfield. He looks like he's one-on-one down here at the bottom of the screen.
Bayer not going to have time and is rushed to throw it out of bounds. So an opportunity falling by the wayside there on 3rd down, and they are now 0 for 7 on 3rd downs in the ball game today. Florida State player shaken up. That's for Jared Verse, one of their top players on that side of the football.
Absolutely.
You've been singing his praises since we saw them earlier this year.
Yeah,
first-round talent, right?
You don't want to see that. Yeah. You don't want to see him laying on the sideline here. This is a young man that when it's tuned up, he can go now. So that's something that bears watching.
Well, penalty a moment ago called against Gavin Bartholomew. Let's see what happened here, Lewis.
Previous plays under further review.
He's walking up the sideline.
Something must have been said.
You see the official. You see the official right here, and he's looking dead at Gavin as he's walking away. There's no way of telling what was said or if anything was said. Or
you saw Gavin's reaction, and he was surprised that the flag was thrown. Bartholomew wasn't even on the field in that play.
I mean, this is a big-time play. This really changes some things right here while Pitt was in field goal range.
Yeah, the ball was well within field goal range before the flag. And in a game where you only have 17 points, every field goal counts. Sure how you review this.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd like to know what he was looking at.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands will be 4th down.
What was reviewed? I mean, what was reviewed?
Yeah,
I mean, what are you looking at? There's no audio. I mean, what are you looking at?
Yeah.
Bartholomew's back is to the camera, so how do you even know what he said or if he said anything? That's interesting, to say the least.
7th punt today. Pitt officially out of field goal range after the penalty. And not the best effort there by Caleb Junko. Florida State leading by just 3 points. Trey Benson, the lone back. Jaheim Bell in motion. Travis going to pull it out. Actually, no, he doesn't. Solomon DeShields tackled Benson with nowhere to go. And if you're just joining us, a quick reminder that their leading receiver, Florida State, Keon Coleman, is out with an injury, as is Johnny Wilson. Those two side by side right there. Wilson with the cap on. It's a lot of yards watching from the sideline.
It sure is. And Florida State has had absolutely no answers for this double A gap, double B gap pressure that Pitt has applied relentlessly all afternoon.
Toafili motions out of the backfield. Travis, little receiver screen complete, and a nice run after the catch by Ja'Kai Douglas for the first down. A well-executed play and a pickup of 18.
Just a little bubble screen. We've got some good blocks out there at the point of attack. Ja'Kai Douglas getting the ball north and south in a hurry.
Travis going to throw it. Douglas, little bump and grind down the side there, and that's going to be a late flag against somebody, either Marquise Williams or Ja'Kai Douglas. Williams with his palms up in the air. I'm not sure that it's not even catchable.
After further discussion, there is no foul for pass interference. Second down.
That's a good call. They're both just hand fighting, trying to get position down the field. You're going to see it right here.
Yes.
They both have their hands on one another.
Yeah, let's play on.
Yeah.
From the 35, 2nd and 10. Portier to the bottom of your screen. Keep it on the ground with Rodney Hill. And a nice surge from Brandon George to make the tackle. No gain. And it's going to be 4th down.
You've got to love how Brandon George is playing in this game. He is off the spot immediately. Look, he's tracking this ball inside out. Perfect angle to the ball carrier. Played his best game by far of the year so far. Brandon George, 6'3", 245 pounds, 5th-year senior out of Reading, PA. Look, this young man, I mean, that's the perfect build when you're talking about a Mike backer, an inside linebacker. All three of them, between George, Shane Simon, Solomon DeShields, they have been in lockstep all afternoon.
3rd down. Travis, a dart, complete near midfield at the 48-yard line to the tight end, Jaheim Bell, to pick up 13 yards. That guy is a mismatch problem.
No question. And I'll tell you what, he just caught an absolute laser from Jordan Travis. He put that ball on a rope.
From the 48-yard line. We're going to keep it on the ground with Trey Benson, who might have gotten a tough yard at best. Hayes with the stop. He was the top recruit, Hayes was, from Pittsburgh City League in decades, coming out of high school.
I tell you, he made the tackle. But Tyler Bentley, the defensive tackle who took on the double team, made the play. He tied up too. Brandon George was coming in there. Deion Hayes just kind of needed to flatten down the line of scrimmage and made the tackle. This is good team defense right now by Pitt. I mean, I'm sure there are Pitt fans going, where was this last week? They got the message this week.
2nd and 9. Jacobs in motion. Jacobs down the seam, makes the catch and a 1st down. Down to the 31-yard line. Travis on the money again for 19 yards.
And you see it right here, Jordan Travis. He's seeing that there is an absolute void in the middle of this defense. And he hits Jacobs quickly, speeds up his process, gets the ball out. Another pinpoint shot.
1st and 10 from the 32. Toafili between the tackles down to the 24. Solomon DeShields making another tackle for Pitt, but a 7-yard gain for the Seminoles. This offensive line for Florida State as healthy as it's been in a while. Big fellas across the front. 2nd and 3. They run it again. Toafili with nowhere to go. Might have fallen forward for a yard. Sets up an interesting 3rd and 3. They're in field goal range.
Okay, what you're seeing right now, you know, sometimes football is pretty simple. When they put the ball in the hands of Jordan Travis and let him kind of read out the defense post-snap and find his own holes, they move the football. They try to run the football right now. Pitt is stuffing it, especially when they try to run it between the tackles. This is going to be a Jordan Travis-led second half. Put it in his hands. One of the best players in the country. Let him decide it.
Benson in the backfield on 3rd and 3. Travis incomplete. Intended for Toafili out of the backfield. Travis wanted a flag. And we might have gotten a late one.
Yeah, they're going to get Brandon George.
Coach Narduzzi in disbelief there.
And he gets him. You're going to see it right here. He's going to come across like this. And you're going to see Brandon George right here as he's trying to get across. That's what they call it.
Pass interference on the defense.
Yes.
Quality placement of the squad on the foul. Automatic. First down.
In what otherwise has been a stellar afternoon for Brandon George. He's made some nice plays for them defensively.
He has played exceptional. Exceptional physicality, blitzing, tackling. This whole defense has answered the bell this week. There is no doubt, you cannot dispute that no matter how this game turns out. They have answered the call, and they've got to answer it again, because right now, number 13 is heating up. And he's saying, this is my game.
Ja'Kai Douglas split to the bottom of your screen. In motion now. Gonna hand it off to Trey Benson. Good tackling. And they limit Benson to little or no gain. Once again, Brandon George.
He's just been all over the place. Whether it be as a blitzer, getting out on the edge, and making tackles in space. You see it right here.
Touchdown, Seminoles! Douglas on the catch. And Jordan Travis strikes. There it is.
You're going to see right here, there's just going to be a void down the middle of the field. It seems like there's a little bit of confusion here. You got 3-on-2 at the top. They go empty, and they just don't cover down on the tight end, Douglas. And they just let him free release and vacate the 2nd and 3rd level of the defense. It's a miscommunication of some sort.
Gave him an easy one that time. Douglas with his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. Jordan Travis with his 19th touchdown pass this year.
No, I'm just saying again, Mark, just put it in the hands of one of the best players in the country. Let him figure it out post-snap, because those are the results you're going to get.
And welcome back, everyone, to Pittsburgh. Florida State taking a 17-7 lead on that touchdown pass a moment ago from Jordan Travis to Douglas. Pitt looking to rally here. They'll have the 1st and 10 from their 25. Hey, all season long, student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell Live Más Student Section of the Year. Download the Taco Bell app to learn more. Those fans going to have to turn up the volume a little bit. Try and get their team back in it. Night has fallen here in Pittsburgh. Clocks go back soon, right? Back.
Yep.
Spring forward, fall back. Yeah.
Fall back.
Yeah. Give me an extra hour.
There you go. Start getting dark at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
There. Got rid of it. Pop for the 1st down. Bub Means has been one of his go-to guys today.
What a great touch throw by Bayer. He knows he's going to take a hit. He's got to fade away from the pressure, fade left, throw the ball back across his body right, and still put enough juice on it and put it up high enough for Bub to go get it. Remember, this is his 4th start of his career. That's a great throw right there under difficult circumstances.
from the 38. Play action. Incomplete. Intended for Mumfield. Q?
Well, while Bayer may lack in experience, he doesn't lack in confidence. And you see the physical skills he has. He's one of 3 Pitt quarterbacks on this roster who are gigantic, 6'5" or taller. The question I have, Lewis, is what are you seeing in terms of the development of his mind, of his eyes, and the decision making?
I mean, look, I think he is progressing steadily. I think obviously quarterback development a lot is about what is around you, the running game, your pass protection, the synergy with the wide receivers. I think he's progressing nicely.
He hands it off here, nowhere to go for Rodney Hammond, stopped up right near the line of scrimmage by number 10, DJ Lundy. Sets up a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
One of the things that you see most, Quentin, is you see him throw the football with anticipation. On the play previous, that may have been a completion. The ref got in the way. The ref set a natural pick, I believe, on Mumfield trying to run the crosser. Otherwise, that may have been a completion. That's one of the things that impresses you the most about this young man. His ability to throw with anticipation before receivers get out of the break. And he's going to need to deliver a big one here.
There, almost intercepted at the 40-yard line. Brown would have loved another opportunity to hang on to that football. Shaheem Brown almost had a pick.
If you see it here, watch Mumfield coming across your screen. He's not even looking for the ball. His head is down. He hasn't even started to try and pick up the quarterback and whether or not he's going to be throwing it to him. And it almost resulted in a pick in their own territory that basically may have sealed this football game had it happened.
Under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Junko, the walk-on with the punt. Fair catch back at the 15-yard line. Called by Douglas, so it'll be 1st and 10 from there. You always see a little bit of drama. Are things just kind of cool with them?
You know what? I've been so dialed into this game. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I'm missing.
It couldn't have been that big. We would have heard about it.
Yeah. Look here. I like what they're doing under some difficult circumstances there in New York.
Travis pulls it out. Going downfield and caught. What a grab by Ja'Kai Douglas. He was working A.J. Woods.
That is a Heisman type of throw. Look where he puts this ball. Over the outside shoulder, away from the defender. Because I tell you, A.J. Woods has played some fantastic coverage tonight in one-on-one situations. And Jordan Travis is threading this football through a needle hole. Wow. It's unbelievable. That's a great throw. A great throw.
Only his receiver could have caught it. Good for 30 yards. Benson through a gaping hole. Benson kicked in the turbo. Good night. Touchdown Seminoles. 55 yards in a sprint across the Pittsburgh night.
You're going to see right here, double team, Shane Simon. You take a side, and this is what happens. You get gashed. If you don't hit this square up, you see right there, you just make it easy for the offensive lineman to just wall you off. If you just put a shoulder in there, and you don't square that block up and make it harder for the running back to hit that ball like that, that's what happens. You create creases in the front.
Man, he was untouched, and it starts a hemorrhaging of fans heading for the exits here in Pittsburgh. Benson's 8th rushing touchdown of the season. Chronicled what a great comeback story he's been.
And you see it right there. You can see Tyler Bentley trying to hold on to that double team. And again,
untouched, Lewis.
Yeah, if you're Simon, you gotta try and square that up. You gotta try and take that on flush. It just created too big of a gap. And look, we've seen Trey Benson do this before. We saw him down in Tallahassee against Virginia Tech, how late in the game, he just went crazy.
I was really impressed by his story and his comeback from ACL, MCL, and LCL knee surgery. Told me that he was back on the football field in about 7 months, going through his arduous and laborious rehab, and was playing less than a year after that. So, Lewis, you know, when you come back from an injury, it gives you a certain sense of appreciation, and Man, he ran and has been playing with great joy since being at Florida State. 11 rushes, 93 yards, and that touchdown to break this game open a little bit at 24-7. Kenny Johnson on the return stopped up right at the 20-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Christian Veyer. It's been a day of near misses of sorts for the Panthers. And a late flag down on the field.
I think you may have some unsportsmanlike or something that happened at the end of that play on the kickoff.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 38, his first foul of the game, first unsportsmanlike foul of the game, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Did he say something or do something? Here's a big play on the drive that could have really turned the tenor of this game around. Completion to Mumfield. Going into the end zone, he lost the football. It was recovered in the end zone for a touchback. At a time of the game when it would have done wonders to change the complexion of it, albeit early. Veyer hands it off. Flemister up to about the 40, got 7 yards, and boy, that personal foul call against Gavin Bartholomew while on the bench will, for me, this year maybe be the most inexplicable penalty that I'll see this year.
Yeah, the thing that gets me is the review. Like, what were you reviewing?
Yeah.
I don't get that. But nevertheless, I think it's important for Pittsburgh here now. How they play takes on a lot of importance.
Got to get their poise back right here. Hammond on the run.
Exactly. To continue to compete, continue to play with physicality. Offensive line, continue to work on your craft. Christian Veyer, continue to make good decisions. Throw the football with accuracy. And if you're Florida State, see, now's the time for you actually to put your foot on the gas and say, hey, look, not only are we going to close this game out, we're going to close it out with authority. There is no letting up.
And that's the end of the third quarter.
They've been a good second half team this year. It's 24-7 after 3 quarters of play. We're going to take a break. And one more look. Down in Tallahassee, they're going to call Saturday, November 4th, Trade Day.
How do you best describe the response that you saw in that quarter?
I was proud of our guys. That's what we expected. That's how they train. That's what they do. But we have 15 more minutes, and we just got to go play better.
Thank you, Coach.
Nice hard run there by Rodney Hammond to pick up the first down. Still plenty of time, but Pitt has to work efficiently and expeditiously right now.
You need chunk plays and you need stops on defense. But I think even more importantly, it's just the way in which they play and the way in which they compete. In the fourth quarter last week against Notre Dame, it wasn't good. There's a lot of scoreboard watching, in my estimation, happening on the Pitt Panthers sideline. And right now, it looks like these guys are competing. These guys are now trying to get better as a football team.
They run it here, Rodney Hammond over the right side of that offensive line. So you alluded to the fact that it's not so much maybe. It's always about the score. You always want to win, but right now Pitt trying to be process-oriented.
That's right.
As opposed to a certain result, right?
You're exactly right. You're exactly right. The way in which you play, the competitive character that you show is important because the coaches are taking stock. The players are taking stock themselves about who are the fighters on this team. Who do I want to go to war with, so to speak? I mean, it's an important time in this game.
A lot of young players, freshmen on this team, seeing significant time. That's going to be a gain of 1 by Rodney Hammond. Third down coming up. Meanwhile, Florida State finding themselves on both sides of the football here in the third quarter. I alluded to the fact that they've been a pretty good second half team this year.
And here's one of these situations again. Let's see what Christian Veyer's decision making is like. His accuracy, the pass protection, They have these, the wide receivers have made plays all game long in one-on-one situations.
Buck Means out to the top of your screen. Reynolds in motion. Veyer got rid of it quickly. Pass complete to Mumfield, and he's going to be close to the first down. I'm guessing you got to go for it here, right?
No question. There's no reason not to.
Pickup of 8 on the play. 4th and 1.
So this is one of those situations here. You got a 4th and 1 situation. Do you just get up underneath center, execute some kind of a push play? You bring in Jerkovic in here, the former quarterback, number 5, coming into the game.
He was the starter up until the Louisville game when Veyer took over.
Don't like getting them done in this kind of situation, I can tell you that.
It's going to be Carter lining up in the Wildcat, but instead
Pittsburgh takes his first time out of the half.
they're going to call the timeout.
30-second timeout.
Veyer was split wide as a receiver. I was getting excited to see what that play was going to look like with Carter taking the direct snap. And you know, we haven't talked about the fact that Phil Jerkovic was the starter for this program earlier until Veyer took over. And it's never really easy taking over midstream as the starter as QB1, right?
Not at all. Not at all, because you haven't taken hardly any reps. You may have worked with some of the receivers, like maybe in off-season conditioning and then during training camp, but you don't have the same kind of rapport as the guy who they were getting ready all training camp long has with them. And now you're talking about a young man who's making just his 4th start, trying to learn it on the fly. And today, playing one of his best games against one of the best passing defenses in the country.
Jerkovic goes under center, takes the snap, and will pick up the first down. I like a little trickery there.
I was about to say, if they actually snap this ball in gun on 4th and inches, when they bring in a quarterback who's like, what, 6'5", 235 pounds, and I don't really know about that strategy, but I like it. I like the end result.
Jerkovic with a nice run. I wonder who that snap was. He moved under the center at the last minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's risky, but again, chunk plays. How can we get the ball down the field, get the ball to Mumfield?
Oh, boy.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Zubovic and Taylor were moving a little bit early. In a rough last couple weeks for head coach Pat Narduzzi. Consecutive losses to Wake Forest, 21-17 and 58-7 last week, and more linen on the field.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, first down.
I don't know how many times I've ever seen an offensive lineman go back-to-back like that.
I mean, it's these kind of things that have just absolutely...
Please set the game clock to 11 minutes, 24
just hurt this
seconds.
football team in so many different ways. And these are upperclassmen. Zubovic is a former starter. You just can't have these kind of issues. You can't have it when you're trying to establish some kind of rhythm and some kind of consistency.
Veyer, high, picked off at the 25-yard line, and the defender fell down. Hussey with the INT. Conrad Hussey out of Sunrise, Florida, out of the highly esteemed program, St. Thomas Aquinas in Fort Lauderdale.
This one just gets away from Christian. He just airmails it. Costly mistake.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Eckrich Statement Saturday. You're watching ESPN College Football delivered by Papa John's. Seminoles with the football. Rodney Hill put his pads down and just disemboweled Williams.
You see Marquez Williams, 180 pounds maybe. You get caught flat-footed and on your heels against a running back like Rodney Hill, he showed earlier in the game what he could do with the lesson he taught Donovan McMillan.
Travis trying to get his shoulder square to throw it. Comes back the other way, got a receiver, and he's got some runners. Destin Hill. And Hill makes it deep into Pitt territory at the 35-yard line. Wonderful improvisational skills by Jordan Travis, resulting in a 29-yard pickup.
This is why some people, and I know it, everybody, let's just calm down before I say this.
Go ahead.
Why some people say this guy has some Mahomes in him in terms of his ability to create outside the pocket. He's rolling full speed left, gets his body squared up and throws the ball back across his body to the right, finds the open receiver. It's just never over with this young man. It's never over. He has so much creativity in him and dual threat capabilities. You're never out of it.
Hands it off to Benson. Straight ahead between the tackles. A nice gain of about 5 on the play. Here's what it looked like from up top.
Just watch, he's in a full sprint. He's just trying to get out here and see him cross up, get himself square again, and then just throw it back. I mean, that kind of vision, that kind of confidence, that kind of playmaking ability.
Great footwork. Lewis, he had a little karaoke footwork going on
in
there.
The middle of it.
Yeah, you saw that, right? Love me a good ad-lib.
Fantastic athlete.
Danielson a little shaken up. Back after this. Seminoles with the football, in control. On 2nd and 6. Little reverse and pass. Travis sacked back in midfield by Temple. Nate Temple never gave up on the play. Kept coming to get the sack.
You're going to see Nate Temple right here. This is the kind of competitiveness that we're talking about. Despite the fact that the game is getting away from you a little bit, just watch how he continues to work, continues to work, continues to work. Those are the kind of things that you're looking for right now in this game. That's the kind of competitiveness that you're looking for.
Third and 23 as a result. Travis into traffic and incomplete. Intended for Portier. MJ Devonshire, one of 2 defenders back there. So it'll be 4th down. They'll punt it away with 8:34 to go. Florida State number 4 in the college football playoff rankings. And we chronicled the turnaround by Mike Norvell's program after the first 2 years. Bottoming out with that loss against Jacksonville State at home in Tallahassee. And boy, what a resurrection after that and rebirth. Jordan Travis, a big part of that. And a nice punt by Mastromanno. Right around the 10-yard line. Back with more after this. And evoking those memories with their record this year. Nice pass and catch. Complete to Means. We talked about the turnaround. 3 and 6, followed by a 5 and 7 year. Then a resounding 10 and 3 last year. 8 and 0 with the meter running last year. Jordan Travis pointed to that 2-minute drill comeback victory that he led against Syracuse as a pivotal point in their comeback. Carter in the backfield. I think that Travis looked good, pardon me, earlier. Tackle by Barker. Quinn, what's up?
Mark, we had Coach Norvell in this Seminole program a lot back in 2021. You mentioned 3 and 6 in his first year. They opened the 21 season 0 and 4. Okay, so he's what, 3 and 10 as a head coach. And, you know, the rumors were swirling that they were going to try to run him out of town. But we never saw him flinch. We never saw him get distracted. He stayed true to that purpose. He stayed true to the mission as the ball goes incomplete on the far side. Looks like the Pitt player is shaken up, and we got multiple flags. And you see that consistency from Coach Norvell and this program.
You're right, Q. He never flinched. Stayed resolved and
holding
resolute.
Defense number 20 of an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty automatic. First down.
That's Reynolds, the Pitt player, shaken up. A healthy conversation with the officials. Back after this. First and 10, Pitt from the 32-yard line. Pardon me, the 28. The 28-yard line. And the good news is that Reynolds came off the field under his own power and is apparently okay.
If you look at this Florida State defensive line on that last snap, these guys are still rushing the passer as if the game is tied or they're behind. All of them. Joshua Farmer, Braden Fisk, 55. They're getting after it.
They're complete underneath. That's Means. About 4 yards shy of the first down. Let's go back to the studio.
And you first.
3rd and 3. Veyer incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Carter Johnson. 4th down, they'll go for it here. And Pitt on the cusp of losing its 3rd consecutive game to fall to 2-7 overall. This would be their first loss in the month of November in 2 years, and they're going to punt.
This is not going to make the fans happy here, and you know what? I think getting more reps for Christian Veyer, I think it's something that's important. It's not like he's getting hit. He's not getting beat up, getting put on the ground.
Yeah, this looked a lot different, at least, than last week against Notre Dame. But there has been no team in the conference, perhaps, that has used the portal to its advantage more proficiently than Florida State. First, Benson, Wilson from those 3 schools transferring in.
Every guy, Mark, has been an impact guy. Yeah. Those 6 guys right there are impact players.
Coleman
at the highest level.
Yep.
So it can be done. And the thing that he told us when we were down in Tallahassee that I loved the most was the fact that you have to know when to say no and be willing to say no also. Just as much as you have to be willing to open yourself up to accepting transfers in. And they've identified them now. They've nailed it.
Yeah. There is a science to working the portal. This is Rodney Hill. He's going to be brought down near the line of scrimmage. Quint?
Yeah, I think it's as simple as the players don't choose to transfer to Florida State. Florida State picks them.
And that's
great point.
And you know what? That's kind of got to be the way that you have to do it, because you know your culture. You know what you can accept and what you can't. You know what you can take on and what you can't, what will fit. And Mike Norvell has a great idea of what will fit now. It was interesting talking to people down on the field. They were just saying, just a couple of years ago, this team was not in contention for anything. And they have changed it in a hurry. That has a lot of coaches excited. A lot of people excited about the college game, quite honestly.
Yeah, there's a blueprint there to follow. Fortier was in motion. They've run it with Hill, brought down by Bentley.
Yeah, to me it started with Kier Thomas from South Carolina a few years ago. I think Jared Johnson. But when we were at practice last month and watched Keon Coleman, who's not dressed today, we watched him practice, and you're saying, wow, that guy's a transfer, but look at him, how he's setting the tone, setting the tempo for practice, practicing like a pro. You would never have guessed. What's amazing to me is that Coach Norvell hasn't sacrificed culture in all of the transferring and bringing in the high-end talent.
It's all about identifying the right makeup, right, Quint? I mean, the right kind of guy.
3rd and long.
And he talked about that extensively.
Backside pressure. There's a flag down in the backfield. That's complete to Rodney Hill. Let's see if this stands or not.
Holding. Offense number 63. That penalty is declined. Defense will take the result of the play. 4th down.
Here comes the punt unit for the Seminoles. Well, next week for Florida State, we all know what the deal is. Take on those guys from Dade County, Florida, the Miami Hurricanes. It's cats from Coral Gables going to be going up to Tallahassee.
I think you just saw Jordan Travis over there on the sideline talking to Coach Norvell, pointing down at looking at his right leg, his right knee. Don't want to be messing around with that right now.
His night's got to be done now. Down to the 22 and a fair catch called by Devonshire. Speaking of Florida State's remaining schedule, Miami at home, North Alabama at home, and then Thanksgiving weekend at Gainesville, taking on the Gators. Maybe College Game Day will show up at Tallahassee next week.
That's a big time game.
Yeah.
How about that rivalry going all the way back in the years, back in my days in college and after? I mean, such great history with those two schools going at it with one another.
Bayer hands it off. Down to the 28.
I think the prevailing thought in game day is either Ole Miss at Georgia or Miami at Florida State. Night games in Tallahassee, they just hit a little differently, Mark.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the first thing the fan or the administration down there said when we went down there for the Virginia Tech game. Yeah, this game's going to be great, but man, if you're down here at night,
that's fumbled and scooped up by the Seminoles in the secondary. Brown, Shaheem Brown, scooped up the fumble from Bub Means. And that's really going to do it probably.
Again, it's the physicality that they're playing with here. This Florida State secondary, and I think it's Conrad Hussey who comes in there with the big hit, number 12. You see it right there, who is someone who the coaching staff, defensive coordinator Adam Fuller, has raved about. The fact that this young man has speed, he hits like a truck, and they're just so deep. And again, that's another thing that you tip your cap to everyone involved with putting together the roster at Florida State. They have acquired depth, man, and they play 22, 23 guys on the defensive side that they can roll out there.
Meanwhile, Tate Rodemaker coming in at quarterback for Jordan Travis, taking over. So Feely going in the locker room. Holmes in the backfield. Bell in motion. They'll hand it off to Holmes. Hey, credit to the Seminoles. In a game and an evening that could have been a trap game, right? You've got a team that's beaten up a little bit. Got a lot of question marks in Pitt. Got Miami next week. But they stayed in the moment and handled their business and did it well.
Yeah, the leadership from the coaches and from the key players like Jordan Travis himself, it won out in the end. Those guys stayed true to who they are. You said that it was the Jordan Travis time. It was time for him to just kind of like really put his imprint on the game. He kind of took over, throwing the football.
2nd and 13. Holmes across the 35. Hey, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the challenge of road games everywhere. Are you ready for the road? Goodyear, more driven. Hey, not only do they have Miami, Florida State in Tallahassee next week, college football, Leonard Hamilton and the Seminoles basketball team open up their season Friday against Kennesaw State. Coach Ham going to have another crew ready to go. He and associate head coach Stan Jones.
It's kind of, there's a lot of sports on TV right now, man. A lot of NBA, a lot of college football, and NFL. It's a good time for sports fans. And the college football season is really starting to heat up right now with the push for the playoffs and every game.
Nice catch over the middle, and that's going to be a targeting flag on Stephon Hall. Jacobs got rocked after making the catch over the middle. And that's going to be an easy one to know what the flag was thrown for. Obviously a targeting. Look for the launch and the crown.
You can hear it up here. The helmet to helmet.
Word on the field is an incomplete pass. Personal foul, targeting defensive receiver, defense, number 25. That plays under further review.
In fast motion there, in normal speed, it didn't even look like he went to hit. It looked like he just was running to the play.
Yeah, and sometimes
didn't see much of a launch per se.
Mark, sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you're not trying to launch and hit. Sometimes you are. Your
just
vision
there,
is on the
Lewis.
football.
Yeah.
I mean, but here, yeah, he's trying to make a tackle. You know, he's trying to put a hit on him. But again, it's just about the aiming points. It's about where. I've been in this situation numerous different times. But clearly, there's helmet-to-helmet contact. That sound says it all.
Yeah. Lewis, you played that position, though.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't tell me that in fast, real time, that you're trying to hit the guy in the helmet.
No, you're not. You're not trying to hit. As a matter of fact, I understand where he went to hit him. The wide receiver was up in the air.
Right.
As he arrives, the wide receiver's coming down out of the air. So whereas he would have hit him mid-chest, now the wide receiver's helmet comes down to helmet level with him. You can't adjust in real time to that.
Yeah, that's impossible.
You can't.
Slow motion really does a disservice to the player that gets called for the penalty because,
of course,
it's look at that.
Yeah.
But when it's happening at warp speed, there are no choices.
Seriously, I mean that happens it happens even faster than you think it happens.
Yeah, I mean in real speed, there's no way you couldn't aim to hit a guy in a certain place if you wanted to.
No, he can't change his trajectory right here. Okay, he's thinking if that receiver stays up in the air a little bit longer, he hits him maybe mid-chest.
Right. By rule, number 25 has been disqualified. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
I understand the intent. I just...
It's the only thing you can do in that kind of situation if you have two choices if you're the DB. Don't try to make a play on the ball.
That'll get you on the bench.
Exactly. Or you go so low to where like you're aiming for mid-calf, right at the knee, so when he comes down, now you're hitting him mid-thigh, maybe in the midsection. But it's just, I mean, it's so... Those things happen so quickly, man, and people need to understand, and I'm sure people do.
Yeah. For young men to have to sit out the next half of the game,
that's ridiculous.
On the handoff, this is Holmes. First and goal, Seminoles. Piling up some style points here. 21-yard scamper with 2:05 to go. And it's time to impress the College Football Playoff Committee a little bit here.
You see there, Holmes, the depth at the running back position between Toafili, Benson, Holmes. You see Rodney Hill just impose his will a couple different times on the DBs of the Pitt Panthers here today. This team's a very resourceful football team. A lot of different ways they can attack you.
We've seen it today. The pass by Rodemaker complete to the tight end Morlock. And Morlock is going to gain about 2 yards on the play. Here's a look at the standings as we take a little inventory. Seminoles 6-0. Miami, NC State, Clemson. Boy, the other side of that ledger, a little clustered, but Florida State has really discerned itself from the rest of the pack at 6-0.
How about that Louisville team, the lone loss that they have right here in this stadium to these Pitt Panthers.
Yeah. And a win for the Seminoles here, and it looks like that's the way it's going to end up. Going to put them in the ACC championship game. It will guarantee them a spot
on the field for a player injury
in the ACC championship game. Well done, well deserved. Jordan Travis himself a transfer. People forget to mention that he transferred to Florida State. His brother Devin was a baseball player for the Seminoles and played in Major League Baseball in the Toronto Blue Jays system. There's a look at his numbers.
Because the injury was the reason we stopped the clock, and it was under 1 minute and the clock was running. Please subtract 10 seconds from the game clock to 44 seconds. The game clock will start on my signal.
Jordan Travis extends that streak of now 21 games, 21 consecutive games with at least one touchdown pass. Yeah. And he's just racking up the records. You saw Casey Roddick, the transfer from Colorado, who jogged off the field to starting left guard. When you talk about the transfer portal, it's not just about the perimeter players. As a matter of fact, it's probably more about the big men than ever before.
Yeah, we've seen examples of teams that have been impacted by line of scrimmage negatively and positively.
It just decimates you. I mean, one of the teams is right here with Pittsburgh. Their offensive line play has just suffered, and everything has just rolled downhill from there.
Coach Norvell and the Seminoles going to end up winning it 24-7. And with the win, they notch a berth in the conference championship game for the first time since 2014.